What is up, YouTube knife community? Back again. We're going to have a discussion about some Twosun knives that my good buddy Justin from over at OCD for EDC shipped out to me a couple, 2 or 3 weeks back for me to check out and test and sharpen and review and do whatever I want to do with them. So my time's about to come to an end with these. They're getting ready to go to my buddy Ben over at Blade Banker so he can check them out. But before we go any further, if you haven't checked out Justin at OCD for EDC, right there's his handles. It's all lowercase on Instagram, and on YouTube it's all uppercase. So there it is. Pause it, read it. Go check him out if you haven't. Awesome guy. Great member of the community. He's just shipped me a whole big box of knives to check out, and at the same time he shipped Ben a big box of knives, and now we're going to swap those box of knives and check out each other's, and then they're going to go back to Justin. So super nice guy for doing that. Without that, I don't know that I would have, I mean, I'm sure eventually I would have, but it would have taken me a lot longer to put Twosuns in my hand. So really appreciate it. It's been an excellent experience. So we'll tear right into this. There's 6 Twosuns, and for a size comparison, we're going to use a Spotty Rat, and this Spotty Rat happens to be my good buddy Rick Cairns. So Rick, that is your OS 8 Spotty Rat right there. First up, we're going to talk about this TS27, and this is in G10 and D2. This one is a night morning design. There's the clip, you can see that, stainless steel liners. It is running on bearings, and it's sharpened up just about like any other D2 that I've sharpened. It performed just about like any other D2. So I predict that their D2 is about like any other, the rats, the steel wheels, the, so on and so forth. But this knife is 4.8 ounces, and the blade is 3 3/4. The handle is 4 3/4, and it's about 8 5/8 overall. And behind the edge, you're looking at 17 to 20 thousandths behind the edge. And I just kept these at the angles that they were already at, because I'm not sure exactly what Justin likes to sharpen at. I think he said something about changing to 17 degrees, so I didn't want to go to 15 on him. So there it is next to a Spotty Rat, which is the same exact size as a regular rat. So there's that. The TS27. We'll set her up here for now. And next up is the, these are in no order, by the way. I'm just throwing them out there. I think this is the same order that he showed me the prices and all. Oh, by the way, prices, I forgot. This knife here is $39 on Amazon. I don't know if you can get them right now, but that's the price that he gave me, that you could find them on Amazon. And he said you can get them cheaper on eBay, so you just have to shop around and check them out. Next up, as I said, TS127, and this one is an S90V, and the price on it on Amazon is $126. It's got orange G10 scales, carbon fiber bolsters, tumbled or stonewashed titanium liners, titanium backspacer, titanium milled pocket clip. Excellent knife, sharpened up great, deburred great. It kind of felt maybe just a little bit soft. Kind of reminded me of the Manly S90V, but Manly's S90V still performs great. I still enjoy using it, so I have no problems with that, especially at the price point, because any other S90V, you're looking, you got Benchmade and Spyderco, and you're looking at 150 to 200 bucks for S90V. So yeah, I mean, I would be okay with purchasing this and getting a little less performance out of it. So, I mean, that's all personal preference too. So on this one, you got a blade length of 3 3/4, a handle of 4 7/8, and overall about 8 3/4. Uh, and it weighs 4.7 ounces. And here it is next to a rat one. So there's your size comparison. Very nice knife. Action is stellar on this thing. Really enjoy this one. I carried it a few days and really like it. Sharpened up great, as I said. So we'll leave that one right there. Next up is the TS 129. And man, I absolutely love this knife. It's carbon fiber show side, and the carbon fiber they use is awesome. They do a real good job with that. Uh, Micro milling on the titanium side, 3D milled clip, 3D contoured scales. Uh, it's got the opening hole, and you can front flip it. Well, if I can, front flip it, and you can spidey flick it. This was a beautiful knife. I love this one. This one is in 14C28N, and the price is right around $70. 14C28N, I think I just said that, but just in case. It's 4 ounces. Blade length is 3.5. Handles 4.5. Overall, it's 8. Sharpened up great. The micro milling on this thing blows my mind. I love it, especially for that $70 price point. Beautiful action, and this one is about 8 to 10 thousandths behind the edge. And there is your size comparison next to your Rat Model 1. So we'll put this one right here. Next up is the TS 134, and this is a Tepe design. Beautiful knife. It's rocking M390, as you can see right there. Purple ANO. The scales are contoured. The clip's contoured. It's got great action. It's got you can choke up on it. It's a little bit small, but you can get in there. This one weighs This one weighs 4.3 ounces, a 3-inch blade, but with that forward choil, you got about 2 5/8 cutting edge, 4 1/4 handle, 7 1/4 overall. And this M390 sharpened up great. I didn't get to test the M390, but it did sharpen good, so that's a good sign. But beautiful knife, done up amazing. All these are running on bearings. Every one of these have bearings. There's your size comparison beside your Rat Model 1. And we'll get this one closed up and we'll put it right here. And then next up is a slip joint. And this one is the TS 164. And it is also rocking M390. It's a night morning design, titanium handles. It's got this kind of I've never seen a lockup like this, but when you pull the blade, it just goes around the tang, as you can see, and it pops back in right there. So yeah, it's a neat knife. I carried this one a few days, really enjoyed it. You can choke up on this one. The choil works good on it. Just a beautiful knife. The M390 again, sharpened up great, deburred great, all that good stuff. This knife is 3-inch blade with a 2 5/8 handle, or 2 5/8 cutting edge. Handle is 3 3/8. Overall is about 6 3/4, and it weighs 2.9. And this thing is the thinnest of all. It's going to be kind of hard to see, but it measured between 6 and 8 thousandths behind the edge. Just super, super stupid thin. Awesome knife to have in your pocket. It was a joy to use. Really like it. Enjoyed it. There's your size comparison beside your Rat Model 1. We'll close her up and move right along. Okay, next up we have the TS 165. This one is $128 is what he's got listed as. It's rocking, let's see, 12C27, Wong design, full titanium construction, back spacer, all that good stuff. Titanium milled clip. Action on this thing is awesome. Get past that D10, it'll shake right down for you. But yeah, it's an awesome knife. The ergos, when I first got it, I was like, man, this thing's gonna suck. But the ergos are just fine on it. I mean, they're nothing spectacular, but there's no problems there. It really, you can't tell those grooves are there. It kind of blew my mind a little bit. But this one is 4.5 ounces. The blade length is 3 3/4. Handle is 4 7/8. Overall is 8 5/8. And it measured 14 to 17 thousandths behind the edge. Just a awesome knife. For its size, it don't weigh much, especially being a full titanium build. Just an excellent knife. Next up is the TS 169. And I have a hard time opening this one. We'll get into that here in a few minutes. But it's a cool knife, cool design, nice blade, and all that good stuff. It's $65. It's rocking 14C28N, full titanium build, contoured scales, contoured clip, all that good stuff. Titanium back spacer, frame lock. This one I have a hard time operating. I don't know why, but I do. I have a hard time opening it. I have a hard time closing it. But anyway, it weighs 3 1/4 or 3.4 ounces, 3 5/8 inch blade, 4 3/4 inch handle, 8 3/8 overall. And again, it's on bearings. And right there is your size comparison next to your Rat Model 1. All right, we'll close her up. Get the rat out of the way. All right. So one thing I wanted to bring up is I want to talk about what all these knives have in common. Of course, they're Twosuns, but the major things that they all have in common is, one is you're getting a very, very nice build quality, high grade build quality for the price that you're paying for these knives. You're getting premium materials. And another thing that I love about these is the ease of maintenance. They're all T8 screws. If you look, T8 on the clip, T8 on the pivot, and that's all you got to take off and you're in the knife. You can literally break these things down, oil them and put them back together, clean them and oil them and put them back together in just a matter of minutes. I mean, it doesn't take no time at all. So the ease of maintenance is probably the number one thing that I love about them. Every one of them sharp and great, deburred great, so I don't think they have any like gross like problems with heat treating steel. Maybe they're not pushing the limits or anything, but they're given sort of industry standards in my mind. Could be wrong. Like I said, I didn't get to test them all, but I did test a few, and they all have fantastic action. The only concerns that I would have about them was, like I said earlier, the M390 felt just a touch soft, and the S90V felt a touch soft, but they sharpened good, and they didn't feel gummy, so I think that they've got a decent heat treat on them. They just wasn't pushed to their max. So I would definitely feel comfortable buying any of these knives if they appealed to me enough to buy them. And a matter of fact, I've already bought one Twosun since getting these in my hand. And this one right here will be my next one. So I'm going to finish this up by which ones I would recommend from most to least. So the first one that I would recommend would be this one. And that was the TS 129 So the TS129 is number 1 on my list. Number 2 would be this guy here, and that is the TS127. This knife has probably got the best ergos of all of them for me in my hand. It feels great, love it. Next up, I would probably go with the slip joint. This one, I really enjoyed the slip joint. I probably carried it more than any of the other ones while I had these. And then next up, I would probably go with the Tepe. Very nice knife. Great in the pocket, in and out, and all that good stuff. And then next up, I would probably go with this Wong design with the weird grip. Like I said, the ergos are not that bad. They look funny, but they're not that bad. Next, I would take this one, the G10 D2. Like that sheep's foot blade. The D2 did okay. And this would be the last one. And the only reason is because I have a real hard time to pulling it and closing it and all that good stuff. So I don't even know if you can see that one. But anyway, so yeah, my final thoughts on these right here on this batch of the Twosun knives is, man, they completely shocked me, especially with the build quality and the ease of maintenance. I mean, and the sharpenability. They all did great in those 3 phases. They all carry great. The only one that kind of weird in the pocket is this one, and it's just that weird stamped looking clip, but it goes in and out good. It sits funny, as you can see, the angle and all that stuff, but you know, I can get over that. That's not everything, but anyway, I guess that's all I've got on these. Once again, Justin, thank you so much for letting me check these out, brother. It's been a blast. I just got done sharpening all these. I sharpened them all in one sitting. It took me about 2.5 hours to sharpen all these knives, so that wasn't that bad. So now I'm going to box them up, and I'm going to send them to Blade Banker, and you can hear his thoughts on them. So for today, guys, that's all I've got. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. Leave me a comment down there so we can get a conversation started. Let me know if you've tried any of these or if you want any of these or whatever. But let's get a conversation going. Guys, again, thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one.